While she washes his hair, Layla gets wet. Nora gives her a towel and tells her to undress. She accepts, takes off her clothes, and wraps the towel around herself. But Nora says that women in public showers undress completely. Layla feels shy, but Nora encourages her and says he'll give her a massage just like in the public showers. Layla undresses and lies down on the bench. Nora lowers her towel, but that's when their family arrives. At the beginning of the movie, we see a boy named Nora who looks younger than his age. That's why he's allowed to enter the women's public showers. But since he's in the throes of puberty, he looks at naked women with lust and admiration. He continues to watch while his mother bathes him. Later, we see two older men who are Nora's friends. They are trying to flirt with random women in the market. Nora tries to join them, but that's when the village sheik arrives to put a stop to the children's actions and chase them away. Later, they decide to find some glass bottles. Nora also helps them find some. But while searching for bottles, Nora peeks through a wall and sees young women doing chores. After finding enough bottles, they go to a store to sell them. But the older friends don't share the profits with Nora. The store manager calls Nora and asks him to deliver a bottle of alcohol to Salih. Salih is working on shoes while singing. He tells him he's writing a play called Laughter in the Dark. Soon, a beautiful lady enters the store. Salih tells Nora she's the actress in his new play and asks him to leave. But in reality, she's here for something else. While playing with the bell, Nora hears strange noises inside. Later that night, the sheik and Nora's father punish him by hitting him with a stick. His father is angry that Nora hangs out with older men who harass women. But the family members stop them and take Nora, who is limping, upstairs. His father, furious, declares that Nora will have to work in a barber shop from now on. While he's resting upstairs, Nora's mother tells him a bedtime story. The story is about a monstrous man who can't touch virgins or even look up their skirts. The man has an interest in young children and eats them. The scene changes and we see Nora sweeping the floor of the barber shop. As his father said, he must work here from now on. But suddenly, people appear in front of the store and try to oppose their government. The police arrest several of them, and a police officer enters the barber shop. The barber asks him if he wants a shave, but the man isn't interested and says he's looking for a man named Yusef Sultan. Nora goes home and sits next to his mother, who is having her legs waxed. He tells her what happened. His mother is worried too. He tries to scare her into not allowing him to go back to work. She asks him to stop working and help her with his brother's circumcision. The next day, we see Nora with Salih, who is playing an instrument and drinking. One of his older friends is also present. The sheikh arrives and asks why Nora is sitting there, but Salih interferes and talks to him until he leaves. Nora tries to drink some alcohol, but Salih stops him. Just then, some people arrive dragging his older friend. They accuse him of harassing women. Salih and others defend the children and put an end to the situation. But a beautiful woman appears in the crowd and distracts everyone's attention. This beautiful woman is called Latifa, a relative of Nora's mother. Latifa goes home and shows everyone what she's bought. In the evening, we see Nora's father complaining about Latifa to his wife. He doesn't like the fact that she's divorced and leads an open lifestyle. But Nora's mother convinces him and tells him that she will be a great help during the circumcision. The next day, Nora goes to his father's store with his tiffin and sees him flirting and touching a girl. He realizes that his father is not as upright as he claims. Nora, while keeping the food, finds magazines with naked women. He looks at the pictures and steals them. He takes the magazine to his friends, who are eager to learn more about the girls. They ask Nora to enter the women's public shower and look at their bodies. Nora, who doesn't like going into these showers, isn't very enthusiastic and asks his mother to do it. She agrees and takes him to the shower. Once there, the manager stops him, but his mother explains that he's only a child and lets him in. In the shower, Nora can't stop looking at the women's breasts and the way they bathe. All the women cover their private parts. Later, he meets his friends, who ask him questions about girls' bodies. Nora describes what he has seen. Later that day, the sheik introduces the family to a young girl named Layla. He explains that she is an orphan who has lost her entire family to evil spirits. The sheikh encourages the family to adopt Layla, a beautiful young girl who needs to learn housework. Nora sees how his mother teaches Layla household chores. She hits her for being bad and tells her she'll teach her to be good. Later, he sees people being arrested for opposing the government. As he walks down the street, Nora sees Latifa and asks her to give him a piece of her chewing gum. Nora climbs up and jumps off the roof to meet Salih and his friends. Nora gives the gum to Salih, who eats it without thinking. The older friend asks if he's brought anything for him too. Nora gives him Latifa's bra in exchange for a few books. From the roof, Nora observes his father hugging Latifa from behind. She feels uncomfortable and pushes him away. Nora is disgusted to see this happen. Later, many women come to the house. One of them tells Nora that he will be circumcised tomorrow. He replies that he has already been circumcised. Nora goes to see Salih at the hairdresser's and tells him how Latifa rejected his father. He then returns home and helps the family organize the ceremony. He prepares to go into the public shower again. His mother helps him get in without a hitch. Once inside, Nora wants to see the beauty of a woman's body. He finds one bathing and kneels down, pretending to fill the water. But the manager catches him in the act and tells his mother. His mother is furious and tells Nora to go home. Nora, distraught, returns home and sees that many people have gathered for the party. He decides to hide until it's all over. His mother tries to find him, but he's nowhere to be found. All the men arrive and settle in. Layla is even asked to find Nora. She goes around the house and calls him, but he doesn't answer and doesn't come out. Soon, everyone starts dancing and having fun. Nora's older friends try to harass and flirt with Layla. Salih comes in and starts singing a song and expresses his feelings to Latifa, who is sitting with other women. He sings about how she rejected him and how much he loves her. Latifa also starts singing and rejects Salih again while everyone laughs. Layla finally discovers where Nora is. He's asleep and she decides to let him sleep. When Nora wakes up, everyone has left. He climbs onto the roof and sees Salih and Latifa having intimate relations. On the way back, he looks at Layla asleep and is attracted. He approaches her and unbuttons her top, but she turns away. Later, Nora and Salih are making a shoe for Latifa. They both flirt, and Salih tries to indirectly propose marriage. Latifa rejects the proposal, and later, she returns home with Nora. He sees men around Layla and notices that she is bleeding. Nora imagines that Layla is a virgin and that the men around her are monsters. Later, we see that policemen have closed a liquor store because so many people eager to freedom were going there. Salih mocks the officer because he wants freedom too. Nora sits on a rooftop, a little upset. He's banned from taking public showers and worries about his freedom. In the evening, he approaches Layla again to undress her. He undresses her, but she turns away again. The next day, Nora encounters Salih drinking from a bottle of cough syrup. Noura asks Salih when a boy becomes a man. Salih smiles at the question. The scene changes and we see Salih, drunk, being walked by Nora. On their way, they see something motivating written on their president. Salih erases the line and writes something crude. Nora helps him sleep on the bed. He then goes home and tries again to undress Layla, but she stops him and falls asleep. Because of the graffiti, Salih is arrested for opposing the president. Before going to prison, Salih tells Nora to tell Latifa that she must wait for him. Nora feels depressed again and sits alone on the beach. He reflects on the situation around him. At home, his mother asks him to take a bath with his father, but he refuses. She asks Layla to wash his hair. As she washes his hair, Layla gets wet. Nora gives her a towel and tells her to undress. She accepts, takes off her clothes, and wraps the towel around herself. But Nora says that women in public showers undress completely. Layla feels shy, but Nora encourages her and says he'll give her a massage just like in the public showers. Layla undresses and lies down on the bench. Nora lowers her towel, but that's when their family arrives. Nora's mother says Layla has to leave because of what she did. Later that night, Nora is seen taking out a bird and letting it free. When Nora returns to undress Layla, he finds her completely naked under the blanket. She gives him a naughty smile. He's finally got what he wanted. The next day, We see the sheikh in the house to bring Layla back. She and Nora exchange naughty smiles. Before leaving, the sheikh says that Nora has grown up. His father tries to hit him, but he runs away smiling. Even his widowed aunt puts on makeup and leaves the house. In the end,